We have Michelle Van Kleef playing tonight, and I have set up 11 inputs for 2 singer-songwriters. Let me go over what I have. This is going to be uploaded as songs later on. So right now I have a couple of NT5s. I put Rode dead cats on them because you just never know. There's breath and stuff, and you want to just avoid any type of breath noise going on. And then we have a couple of M5s, an ORTF pattern, so it'll be a slightly different spread so that the 2 guitars will have a differentiation in how they're stereo spread, which means they both kind of exist. One will kind of exist towards the edge, and one will exist on the edge of stereo, which would be really nice. A couple of SM58s just because it's I don't know what to expect. That's what we got. That's kind of a standard. Got a couple of floor monitors set up for them. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have an input for a DI, one for each of their acoustic instruments. They're coming in to play guitar. It's going to be kind of folky, 70s rock, that kind of stuff. And then all these lines, well, I also have a couple of crowd microphones up there just to pick up the crowd. And I do have one way off in the distance. Let's see if we can see it. Room microphone. That's a K2 by Rode. It's set to Omni. It's a tube mic. And hopefully I'll be able to get the tail of the reverb, and I'll probably have to reposition it later on. That way we can get some cool room reverb on the post-production mix, because we're going to do a post-production mix. Since everything is actually going through my PC, through Cubase, everything's set up in Cubase right here. Everything's set for monitoring. I have 3 separate mixes going out. I got one mix going out to a live stream, because this is going to be live streamed by her brother, Brian. He's going to be live streaming it. I should probably get you his tag. I actually don't have it off the top of my head. But it will be live streamed, and hopefully later on we'll be able to see that as well. And a 3rd mix is going out to monitors. So just the monitors themselves. This just has the vocal and the DI. I don't really like the sound of DI guitars. They use a piezo pickup, and it kind of sounds really harsh. So I'm going to hopefully get most of my source from the mics to come through the PA. And the same thing with this one. Each one has their own. So this mic is going through this monitor, and that mic is going through that monitor. So they each have their own floor monitor to hear themselves singing. And the first mix, of course, is going to go out to the crowd through the main PA speakers. And to record, I'm using a Focusrite Octo 8. In the back, there's about 6 more microphones plugged in besides the front. I'm also using an M-Audio Octane 8, just because I like the sound of the preamps. Oh, I meant to turn that. That's where the DIs are hooked up to right now, along with the room mic is on channel 11. And all those get mixed and processed. We're going to be doing a little bit of compression on the vocals. Got a couple of CLAs, which are really, really, really nice waves compressors. Just rolling off some low end because I don't need that. I did a little feedback detection, used a Q10 just in case I need to. But so far all I really needed to cut out was 127 hertz when I cranked up the PA, so hopefully that's the only problem we're going to have here. I believe the door vocals, I had to do one other frequency. I had to also cut out, oh, no. No, nice. So we didn't have to cut out anything else, as far as I know. And then, of course, that's also doing a little bit of a roll-off. These Q10s are just here just in case, because I like to have lots and lots. The cool thing about the Q10 EQs by Waves is that you can turn the Q up to ridiculously high. Like, I can make it super, super, super cutting. So I can really do like a nice feedback reduction without affecting any other frequency. It's like really specific. It's like surgical. And then those are going out to a monitor mix. That's how the monitor mix goes out. But they're also going out to their own buses. And then the guitar buses, oh, that's where I did the feedback reduction for the, this is not because I'm trying to make it sound good. This is because I'm trying to cut out the feedback that I was experiencing when I cranked them up. And the same thing with this particular, actually, that could probably be a little more surgical. Number 6, oh, it's 20 Q, that's pretty surgical. All right, we're good. That's really, really fine line. And so the guitars go out to their buses. The vocals each go out to a bus as well with a secondary, because I like to feather my compression. So it's being feathered by an API 2500 that I set to a certain setting that I liked. I won't know till we do a sound check if this is any good, to be honest. I'm just kind of like basing it on past experience. And it's all going out to a limiter, not because I want it to be limited, but just because I need it to go to, actually no, I didn't want, I wanted the live stream to have the limiter. You don't need to have the limiter. The live stream used to have the limiter. I want the live stream to have a nice hot amount of signal. So there we go. So hopefully when the sound check happens, because he's gonna have like a whole setup with microphones, or not microphones, but with microphone inputs, and like two Canon cameras and an HDMI switcher, and he's gonna have an input, and he's gonna be running through was it OBS broadcast software, so you can like switch between the two and fade between the two. So it should be really nice looking live stream. And then that all kind of goes out through three outputs, or three sets of outputs. There's one set of outputs for the PA. Down here we have a set of outputs going to where the monitor, those right there, right there. Those are going out to the monitors. That's how the monitors get their mix. And then another set of outputs are going to go out here for the live stream to use. I have another secondary mixing board, just so that he can kind of have a little control over his gain levels, because I'm going to have to be bartending when this is happening. And then, of course, if you wanted to get a look back here, it's a mess, but those are all those extra inputs. And then the Octane, you can see the three there, and the one on the far left, that's the room mic. So that's what we're using. Hopefully it sounds great, and I'll get you some live footage later.